My Hero Ultra Rumble just did the unthinkable and actually gave us a huge balance patch, buffing and nerfing numerous characters, a lot of which being strong meta characters. Today I'm going to go through and showcase all the changes, starting with Strike Deku. Now then, real quick, every character I will be showcasing has no tuning perks equipped whatsoever, so you're going to be seeing the new changes in their default state now, with no sort of tuning perks equipped. I'm also going to be doing this against a team with one assault character, so you're going to be seeing damage that reflects that. Now then, Full Bullet Deku got a change a very long time ago to his HP, buffing it from 300 to 350. As you can see here, they have now, numerous seasons later, reverted that change. He has now gotten an HP nerf. He no longer has the 350 HP, he now has 300 again. Now then, along with the lower HP making him easier to take out, they also nerfed his alpha across the board. It's doing lower damage. So at level 1, you can see here we're doing 55 damage per shot. And at level 9, we're doing 95 damage a shot. Again, this is with one assault character on the enemy team. Now, I've been seeing people ask for nerfs for this character for a long time, so let me know down below if you think these nerfs are good enough. Let me know if you think he needs some more changes. Let me know if you think they went a little bit too far. Again, lower HP and now lower alpha damage. Now, really quick, moving on to Strike Todoroki, we're going to go ahead and go here once again. They buffed his HP. Strike Todoroki now has 350 HP going from 300. I'm actually curious if a change like this means we'll start seeing some more people play Strike Todoroki, because with a change like this, obviously now he can survive a bit better. Now then, moving on to Tech Todoroki, he actually got nerfed. They decreased his alpha damage across the board. At level 1, he's now doing 69, and at level 9, he is now doing 80 damage a shot. Now, this is pretty noticeable. I believe at level 9 before he was doing 100 damage a shot with his alpha, so going from 100 to 80 is pretty noticeable to me. They also nerfed his ammo count at level 9. Previously at level 9, he would have 9 shots, and now he only has 8. Now then, the way Tech Shoto works, the higher level his alpha, the more damage his beta explosion will do. I'm not too sure if this damage nerfs makes his beta explosion weaker. It's doing 170. I think it's always done 170, so I'm pretty sure the beta explosion itself is still doing the exact same amount of damage, but his alpha is doing less. Now then, taking a look at a villain real quick, they actually buffed Strike Tomura. Strike Tomura now has 350 HP going from 300, which should help him survive a bit better. And they also gave him 2 special action charges that he can use, while also making his special action do more damage. I believe it previously did 50, but now it's doing 80. This change actually gives him a tiny bit of aerial mobility now. Now he can kind of dash just a little bit off the ground. It's going to be curious to see if more people start picking up Strike Shigaraki as well, now that he has the extra HP. Not to mention, the special action doing more damage is pretty good. I'm pretty sure he can combo it with his Gamma as well, so that just makes that combo a bit stronger, though I can't really seem to do it right now. Now then, another character that I always see people asking for nerfs for, Strike Dabi finally got some nerfs. They nerfed his Gamma and his Beta, so his Gamma Mini Explosion now does 24 damage. I think before it did 60. And they also nerfed the damage of his Command Grab as well. So the Command Grab, if you're not empowered, is now hitting for, I believe, 170 damage without being empowered by the Gamma. And with the power boost from the Gamma, the Beta is now doing 192 at level 9. Now then, altogether with the Gamma Mini Explosion and the Beta, the new Dabi combo is now hitting for 216. Now, this still is a lot of damage to hand out to one character. However, it is a big change compared to before. Before, he was doing like 260, I believe, 267, something like that. Basically, he was getting a guaranteed guard break for landing this very easy-to-do combo. Now, he's still getting very big damage now. It's just not going to be a guaranteed guard break, at least. Now then, going back to the hero side of things, Kirishima actually got a buff to his alpha. At level 4 now, he gets his 3rd alpha charge. Previously, you had to wait until level 9 to finally get that 3rd alpha charge, but now you'll be getting it right there at level 4. They also buffed his reload speed at level 9 when you do use up all the alpha charges, allowing you to get your alpha back even quicker. Now that my Kiri mains have to let me know what they think about this change, I think it's pretty good. It means he has an extra mobility charge at level 4, which is really good. I know a lot of Kirishima mains do want his special action reverted, so he's not easily knocked out of it, like it was before, but let me know what you think about this change. And up next, we have Kendo, who got a damage buff to her alpha and gamma across the board. I believe this is just a revert to a change they did before. But now her alpha at level 1, you're hitting for 88 a rock, and you're also hitting the gamma at level 1 for 130. And at level 9, the alpha is hitting for 148, and the gamma is now hitting for 180. Now then, this is assuming you're landing all the rocks from the alpha. I believe the lowest amount of damage you can get now is 37, though, at level 9, if you're only landing a couple of the rocks. Again, pretty good changes in my eyes. I'm not too sure why they nerfed her damage the first time around. I mean, she is hitting for, like, a very high amount. But I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I never really see people play this character, so maybe she needs it, I don't know. Next up, we have Endeavor. All they did to Endeavor, they made it so his special action reloads quicker than it did before. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too sure how good of a buff this will be for him. I mean, a buff is a buff, you know, it's a net positive gain, but I'm not too sure if this buff will be too significant for him. And taking a look at Mirio, they made it so that he can hold his gamma longer than he could before. So now you can actually protect your teammates for a long amount of time. Obviously, enemies can run inside this barrier, melee you, and make the barrier disappear, but at the very least, if they're very far away from you, you can hold this barrier up for a long time now. Now then, going back to the villains, we actually have a Tech Toga buff and also a Tech Toga nerf. So the nerf was to her Gamma at level 4 through 9. The Gamma is doing less damage. So level 4, the Gamma is now hitting for 98 damage. And if we go ahead and increase this up to level 9, the Gamma is now hitting for 90 damage a shot. Now then, as for the buff they gave her, which you might have already noticed, she has 2 Gamma charges. So she hits for 90 a Gamma shot now, which is less, but she has 2 shots, meaning she can hit for 180, assuming she lands both Gamma shots. This change to me is very interesting. A couple patches ago, they did nerf her tracking of her Gamma, right? So now she has 2 shots. If you miss the first one, you got the second one. But more than that, you can just fire off both Gamma shots and then transform, refresh your cooldown, and just do this again. Again, the Gamma tracking is a little bit worse than it was before, so this tactic is probably not going to be too strong, but it's something you could do now. Now then, for Rapid Toga, they nerfed her Alpha and her Gamma. Starting with the Alpha, at level 1, the Alpha is now hitting for 19 a shot, and at level 9, the Alpha is now hitting for 27 a shot. It also seems they made it so that people that are knocked away by the Alpha get knocked back a little bit further. The damage of her Gamma, like her Alpha, was nerfed again across the board. They nerfed the slashing part, so the second hit that you do was nerfed. So right now, that second hit's doing 60. Before, I believe it did 71. And if we go ahead and just increase our quirk to level 9, we're now doing 80 for that slash. Before, that slash was doing 100. So that is quite a sizable change. I actually am curious how much damage this is doing. I'm going to give Deku some shields real quick. Let's do Beta into Gamma, the tried and true Toga attack, combo. I believe before that was just guard breaking, right? Even without any sort of tuning, that was a guaranteed guard break on people. So now this combo that you're doing, I think that was what, 225 is what it said? It's 25 damage shy of getting a guaranteed guard break now. I mean, just like with Strike Dabi though, 225 for a combo, especially a combo that you can just, you know, refresh your cooldowns and do again. That's still very, very good in my eyes. So I want to say this is a fair change for her. Again, I don't really find this combo too hard to pull off, so I feel like this is kind of fair. And I forgot something very obvious, being that while Beta into Gamma isn't enough to get a guaranteed guard break anymore, implementing a single Alpha will be enough to get that guard break. That is a lot of damage. It's not a true combo. You can see she heals in between. So there's a bit of a gap, which means the combo itself can be interrupted or dodged or something, but I feel like more often than not you can land that, right? Just do Beta, 1 Alpha into Gamma, and that's a guaranteed guard break. So she kind of has that going for her over Dabi, because Strike Dabi, he can no longer get a guaranteed guard break, but at least she has a Rapid Toga still has a combo route, so I think she will definitely be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll still see a lot of people playing Rapid Toga. Again, I think this character is still quite strong, but I am curious if we'll see more people playing Tech Toga. Again, having 2 Gammas, I haven't played an actual match, so I don't know how the tracking will be against people that are moving and how much of a difference that second Gamma will be. But it seems like it'll be really, really impactful for her. I really do think this is going to be a very annoying tactic of just get their blood, de-transform, and just spamming your Gamma. Again, the tracking, I mean, I was aiming at Deku, and it gave me Bakugo's blood. The tracking is off with this move, so maybe it's not going to be as annoying as I think it will be, but I'll see. Now then, going to our final villain, they actually buffed Compress on his Beta and his Gamma. So now his Beta, whenever you're deflecting shots, it'll take less of that Beta gauge. We go from 250 to 240 deflecting that shot. And they buffed his Gamma from levels 1 through 8. It has a faster cooldown speed, or faster reload speed. And at level 9, its reload speed is also faster when you use it one time. So meaning you'll be able to get this teleport back very, very quick across the board now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a Compress main. I don't play Compress too often, but I already felt like he got his teleport back pretty quickly, but now he's gonna get back even quicker. Now it's time to take a look at the bird. They nerfed him across the board, and these are some impactful nerfs. Starting with his Alpha, they reduced the damage of it across the board. You can see landing the full Alpha Spray at level 1, we only get to 100 damage. I think that first feather hit for 10. Yeah, the first feather's hitting for a measly 10. The text is so small too, I find that kind of funny. And then at level 9, let's go ahead and just increase him here. We can go ahead and see 1 feather is doing 18 a shot, and it looks like if we land the full spray, we can only get to 180. I believe before he was getting to like 220 for landing the full Alpha Spray, so that's quite an impactful change as well to Hawks with his Alpha. They nerfed his Beta again. They decreased the flying duration. Whenever you land this move, you can't fly for as long. I feel like they're going all over the place with this move, because they buffed that in a previous patch, I'm pretty sure, where they made this move last longer when you do this, but now they've reduced the amount of time you can free fly. It's still a long time. I mean, I was flying for a long minute right there, so I really do think that's not really that crazy of a change, but maybe I'm wrong on that one. His Gamma as well was nerfed across the board in terms of damage. At level 1, the Gamma is now hitting for 70. Let's go ahead and up this to level 9. Now his Gamma at level 9 is hitting for 100. Once again, another change I find really impactful, because before his Gamma was hitting for 120, so going from 120 to 100, 100 is still a lot of damage, but again, 20 less damage, that's pretty big in my eyes. And now this is probably the biggest nerf to him in my eyes. They nerfed his special action, and they nerfed his special action quite significantly. So now the meter for the special action is going down much quicker, meaning you can't fly for as long, meaning you can't cover as much distance. I feel like previously, Hawks would have no problem going from there to maybe like over there potentially. But with this nerf, we can't even clear the entire strip right here. But yeah, this is a very noticeable change in my eyes. Again, Hawks, you can't really fly too far. It's still good mobility. I mean, it's better than what a lot of characters have, but again, compared to what he had before, it is quite a noticeable change. Now then, he's another character that I know people don't really enjoy fighting too much. So let me know down below your thoughts on the changes. Do you think these changes are perfect for him? Do you think he needs a little bit more nerfs? Do you think they went too far? I'm curious to know what you feel about the Hawks changes. And now then, moving on to Aizawa, he was buffed across the board to his ammo count for his alpha. At level 1, he now has 4 alpha shots. At level 4, he's going to have 5, as you'll see right there. And then at level 9, he now has access to 6 alpha shots. Basically giving you more flexibility, I guess, with his alpha. His alpha requires you to kind of predict where people are going and lead your shot, meaning you'll probably miss a lot of it. So I guess they wanted to give people an extra shot to help you just connect it a little more. And they also buffed his special action. His special action now reloads quicker than it did before, meaning you can get back to hiding those quirks quicker than previously. And lastly, we have Nejire, who got some pretty interesting changes to her beta. The change in Nejire's beta is very interesting. They changed it in 3 different ways. I'll start off with the damage. For levels 1 through 9, the damage is lower. So level 1, we're now hitting for 21 an individual shot. And at level 9, we're now hitting for, I believe, 33. So at level 1 previously was 35, now it's doing 21. And at level 9, it was previously 55 a shot, now we're hitting for 33 a shot. And they also made it so it takes more hits to get the hard knockdown from it as well. Now it takes 5 hits before you get that hard knockdown. So you can see here, we hold it down. We got to 165, which I think is the amount of damage you could have got to before as well. But it is going to take 5 hits. Beforehand, I believe it took only 3 hits before that hard knockdown got triggered. And then the next change says decrease the surge time duration at all levels. I'm not too sure what this means. I'm not sure if it means she can't hold his move down as long as she could before. I mean, that seemed like a pretty long time. I'm not sure if it means like pressing it one time consumes more meter than it did before. It's consuming 10%. I'm not exactly too sure. I'm leaning towards maybe she can't hold it down as long as she did before, though. And the final nerf was actually to her special action, and I think this is a very big nerf to her as well. Beforehand, using her special action consumed 20% meter, so she would go from 100% to 80%, allowing her to use the special action 5 times. Now, if we press special action, we go from 100 to 65. So we're using 35% meter doing it, meaning we can only do this dash 3 times before it goes on cooldown. This means you'll have to think a bit harder about using your special action dash, because that means you'll be putting it on cooldown more. You'll have to definitely take advantage of the float, you know, spamming the float as well to travel some distance, because the dash is now going to trigger the cooldown more often than before. Alright, and that's going to do it for the buffs and nerfs that I'm aware of. Sometimes they do implement some shadow buffs, some shadow nerfs, but right now I'm unaware of any. This patch, they really did come for the meta super hard. A lot of the quirk sets, Hawks, Nejire, they all received some nerfs. They also wanted to help some of the characters that I find are probably underpicked. You know, Strike Shigaraki got some buffs. Strike Todoroki got some buffs. Assault Kirishima as well, which is really good. Overall, I really do think these changes will be kind of good for the life of the game. You know, I feel like a lot of characters were just doing ridiculously high damage. So now we have, you know, characters like Strike Deku, Strike Dabi, you know, a lot of the quirk sets. Nejire, Hawks. Now that we have some characters doing less damage, we have their game plan a little bit weakened as well to give other characters a chance to spotlight. And now that other characters have more HP, you know, that Strike Todoroki, that Strike Shigaraki, to help them out because they were not really in a great spot. I think it's overall going to be good, but time will tell. I haven't played any matches, so I'll see for myself. But by the time I release this video, it'll probably be later in the day, which means some of you may have had a chance to play the game. So let me know down below your thoughts overall on the patch notes. If you've only gotten a chance to read them, let me know what you're thinking about them currently. If you actually have played the current patch of the game, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you came across, you know, some Nejire, some Hawks, if that matchup's now a little bit easier for you. Same thing with Strike Deku, all those characters. And if you happen to be like a Strike Kiri main, Strike Todoroki main, Strike Shigaraki main, let me know how you feel about those buffs as well. And as always, I do hope you enjoyed the video. This one's kind of a different one. There was not really any gameplay, really. I was just going over the patch notes because it was a massive patch that I feel like I needed to make its own separate video on. But I will be playing all the characters affected by the patch in the coming days. If you have a character in particular that you want to see me try out, let me know down below. And again, hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.